Hello, everyone. It's me, Jerome Parker, here. Another episode of Jerome Parker Live. Today, we are going to be speaking about, or I'm going to be speaking about, staying ready for opportunities as a software entrepreneur. Now, before I get started, let me do a quick, let me pop out the chat. And I think I've already let people know I was going live. That's good. All right. So, why am I doing this episode? So I did a live stream a couple weeks back talking about basically the pros and cons of being a software entrepreneur or an appreneur, and um, I got a lot of views and feedback on that. I appreciate those who took the time to view that, but I wanted to talk about. So basically, I got a question. Is like I have these skills. I know how to write apps, but I'm not good with coming up with ideas on apps for myself to implement. Now I usually write apps for other people, or I write apps at work or what have you. So that prompted me to do a video talking about how to stay ready for opportunities, because most of my applications that I have written that were successful came from seeing a need that needed to be filled in my surrounding community. So, what is an example? I wrote an app called Moby Snacks a couple years ago, and Moby Snacks was basically Uber for snacks and beverages. So I worked out the system where uh, gas stations, convenience stores, stuff like that, they can sign up to be the vendors, and then anybody can sign up to be a delivery person. So let's say I'm sitting on my porch and I wanted a bag of Grippos and a Big Red. I could pull out the app. I could pay right there on the app, select what I wanted. It would go to the nearest delivery person. They would get a push notification saying, Jerome Parker wants this and this. Here's their address. They've already paid for it. The money, it also communicates with the nearest convenience store in the area. And it would give them their money, which they get 90%. The delivery person gets 5%. And then Moby Snacks gets 5%. So it would, the money would go to the convenience store. The delivery person would go pick it up, deliver it off to me, and once the transaction settles, they get 5%. Moby Snacks gets 5%, and the convenience store gets 90%. So I came up with that app, sitting on my porch, and I was just, talking amongst friends, and I'm like, man, that'd be real cool. Like, it was really hot, and I think I wanted an ice cream or a soda. I wanted something to cool me down. I was like, man, I wish I didn't have to walk or drive up here to this convenience store. I wish I could just pay somebody and they would just come up on a bike and deliver it. And I was like, oh man, right. So that was the inception of the idea. And then when I talked about it to people, they're like, oh wow, that's a really good idea. And I ended up developing it. It was going good until Uber Eats came along and pretty much destroyed that. So the app, I still have the source code, but the URL is down or whatnot. And I had a mobile app that I was working on as well. Treat Me at Home was another app that I had that came as a result of seeing a need that needed to be filled. So I know I know a lot of people who would do nails or hair, stuff like that, and they would travel to people to do their braids or whatnot. So just seeing stuff on Facebook and other social media, and people were like, man, I wish I had a booking app for that. So I came up with the idea for Treat Me at Home, and expanded it to be all service providers, not just personal care professionals. So long story short, I had to master the art of being aware and open to the needs um, of people around me. So what I tell people who are looking for that next idea, and they're coming with programmer's block or whatever, what call you, and they can't come up with something creative on their own uh, imagination. I tell people to go around and talk to people, ask them what they need. How what is an app that doesn't exist that could make their life easier, and then write it. Um, this can take multiple forms. If you know, I live in a small town in Kentucky right now, so really good marketing for me is just door to door talking to people. It's one of those everybody is familiar with everybody kind of places. If I'm out in the Bay Area for work, that's not really feasible. So I might leverage social media, start a survey or something, or I might post something on a blog. But just starting conversations with people and figuring out what are the problem areas in their life, and then you can figure that out. And Ethan, oh gosh, you have ice cream all over you. Uh, yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to have to put you on hold for a second and help my son. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Gotta love kids. So where was I? I was saying staying ready for. Oh yeah, talking to people. So I really think that the best form of marketing, when it's feasible, is word of mouth, and just talking to people face to face, show them that you're a person, make them building up rapport, making them feel comfortable telling you what their problems are, because you have to. People don't use software um, unless it makes their life easier in some form or fashion. And easier can be in the form of taking stress off, in the form of entertainment, playing a game. It can be easier as far as productivity, like using Microsoft Office or something like that. But long story short, people use software that make their lives easier and or better. And usually that comes in the form of solving a problem. So talking to people and figuring out what their problem sets are, and then writing software to implement it. So let's say you talk to people in your neighborhood and they say, "Hey, yeah, we have a what is it? The homeowners associating meetings every third Wednesday, and we don't really have a website or any sort of collaborative software to kind of keep everybody on track. You think you can do that?" From there, you take it and you're like, "Absolutely, I can do it," and you make that app. And what I tell people is, don't worry about trying to make it perfect overnight. Do um, rapid prototyping, and and then iterate often. Build up a workable prototype that does the basic functionality, so you can give it to your customer to start using. And then while they're using it, you make it better continuously. You're always making it better. Don't wait until it's perfect to give it to the customer, because perfect never comes. And what you'll end up doing is spending months and months and months trying to build a product and telling your customer, "Oh, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet," and they're gonna end up losing faith in you. But if you show them uh, something that's workable, and you're also showing them that every day gets better, not only does that build really good rapport for you, it makes them proud to use it, because they're the beta, they're the first person to they're the pilot or what have you. So so communicate when you find a problem, make a prototype, give it to them, and continue to make it better. Now, what if you're making an app that isn't like user specific? You're building a SaaS app or a mobile app or something like that you want to just go straight to the masses. I still use the same logic of rapid prototyping and frequent iteration. That being said, um, what I've done in the past, and all of my apps, I've only done like 3 Twitter ad campaigns in my life, and all of them, 2 of them were like for learning purposes, and the other one, uh, didn't really go at how I planned. So the vast majority of my marketing is done organically, and all of my apps uh, get traffic from all over the world. So they're all, I guess, international. So how did I do that? Focusing on building a workable prototype, and then the first thing I do is I put it online. If I need to spend the $10 and get a brand new domain, if the domain is really, if I think it's not gonna last long, somebody's gonna buy the domain, I'll go ahead and buy it. Otherwise, I have my JeromeParker.com, and I have infinite subdomains, so I just make a subdomain, app1.jeromeparker.com, app2.jeromeparker.com. Uh, but anyway, I put it online, and the reason I put it online is because I do heavy search engine optimization tactics to increase my presence and my reach. So the earlier I get it online, the longer I can start building up web links and references. There's a certain allure just to like putting an app out, even if it's not done. Just posting it on your Facebook or Twitter page. When someone, especially those who are close to you, friends, family, high school, college acquaintances, whatnot, they're like, "Hey, yeah, I know Jyrone. I mean, what's his app?" Like they'll just click on it, and you don't know who will share it at that right time, where it might end up being reshared 50, 60, 100 times. So I always tell people, don't be afraid. Just put it out there. So there goes that. Now let me recap. I was talking about staying ready for opportunities. So outside of talking to people, you really should be active in whatever niche that's your niche. If you like surfing, and you want to write a surfing app or what have you, then you should stay up to date with surfing news, what's going on in the surf community, because a lot of actually the app I wrote, All Around Politics, came as a result of that. After the presidential election, I keep seeing all this stuff. People saying it's fake news. People are on the left, people are on the right. So I decided to write an app that takes political news stories from trusted news sources. It gets left, middle, and right wing opinions, puts them together, puts it out there. It's called All Around Politics, and I put a web app and an Android app out. So that was a result of just being tuned to what's going on around me. So you don't have to directly speak to people, although I think it's good to do that. But if you're just trying to come up with ideas, you can feel the dissonance in the community, and then you write an application to make that to to bring some stability to that dissonance. Um, yeah, so I'm an avid reader. I tell people to read, news articles, RSS feeds. Doesn't really matter. Just read. Stay up to date. Watch your news videos and whatnot, and stay relevant. Write something that is relevant. And even though I said you should do rapid prototyping and frequent iteration, you should still do stuff of quality. Don't just put out crappy work. But I think that is all I'm gonna talk about. Staying ready for entrepreneurial opportunities. Yeah, I mean, and don't your marketing game. So if you have a business card, which you should, and if not, you should at least have a website. If you don't got a website, I don't know what to tell you if you're trying to do this app entrepreneur thing. But I have my business cards. I need to order some more. Just ran out, giving them all out. Go to Vistaprint, get 1,000 of them. And anytime that, anytime you communicate with a stranger, you need to find some way to put into the conversation. Hey, I write apps. Is there anything that you need help with? Everybody needs something. Everybody needs something. And even if opportunity doesn't arise right then, your name is in the back of their head. They might refer you. I can't tell you how many referrals I've gotten over my business career. Most of my business is referrals. So just always being, every opportunity you get, you need to let the world know what your skill set is, and have a repertoire. Oh, when you're not doing active work for somebody, you need to be building an app for yourself. Even if it's not an app that you want to turn to a startup and try to make money from it, I always try to write at least 3-4 apps a month just to keep my skills sharp and add it to my repertoire. I have almost 100 apps on my GitHub that I can show anybody, ranging all kinds of applications. So application types rather. So if somebody's like, "Hey, have you ever done a social networking app?" Yeah, I have. Here it is on my GitHub. Have you ever done e-commerce? Yeah, I've done plenty of those. Here's this. Have you ever done a real-time communications app? Yeah, I got like 6 of those. They're right here. You want to look at them? We can spin it up. But being able to just flip and show it on the fly, and that's another reason why I say put it online and get a subdomain. Get one main domain and then just add a bunch of subdomains for each one of your apps, because you'll be able to just pull up right there on your phone. Yeah, I wrote this, I wrote this, I wrote this, I wrote this, I wrote this. And a lot of times people, even if they'll tell you, okay, I'm going to think about it and call you back, they've already made their mind up that they want to use you because you spat that game. You showed them what you could do. You didn't really leave them any room to doubt you. And that's what the thing, you don't you want to sow seeds of confidence, not doubt, in any potential client that you might have. And the best way of doing that is, in my opinion, is having high self-confidence, because you can tell when a person has high or low self-confidence and or esteem because of the way they carry themselves. And I've been told from people who I've done work for that they respected my swag. They respected the way that I spoke, how I walked, how I talked, because it exuded self-confidence. And so nobody's going to root for you harder than you. So anytime that you come in contact with somebody, you need to have the mindset of, I already have this opportunity. I just need to go through the formalities of signing the signatures. And that's the mindset that I have whenever I go into the opportunities. And it's worked for me very well. And I implore anybody to do that. I'm a big believer in law of attraction, but we can get into that in later videos. But I think that's pretty much everything I was going to say. I was going to keep this one short and quick. But if you guys have any questions, email me at jyrone.parker@gmail.com. That's JYRONE.PARKER@gmail.com. Also, please check out my website, JyroneParker.com. I also have links on there to my web apps, my startups. I have Treat Me at Home online. And also, if you check out the website, I'm selling K boxes. Let me grab my K box. So K box, yeah, it's basically a media center with Kodi installed. You can buy extensions like this baby right here, which allows you to get live TV and FM radio. I also pre-install it if you get the coding version um, with a coding stack, so you can learn how to program or follow my tutorials, and you get real time updates on code. But all of those descriptions and links are on my website, JyroneParker.com. And if you guys don't have any questions, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Um, Last thing, the coding tutorial. I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna continue with my PHP stuff. Hopefully tomorrow. If I get done early, I might do it today, but tomorrow, Wednesday for sure. And we're gonna do a PHP app, and then after that, we're gonna go into the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Um, Build a couple front end apps, and then from there, we're going to move on to Laravel. So I'm excited, guys. Thank you for bearing with me. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my blog, and have a blessed day.